Hey everybody, I am Shailene. If I haven't met you, it is nice to meet you, and thanks for subscribing to the emails to get more tips and teachings on DBT. So my idea with this for anybody who hadn't known prior is just keeping our minds fresh. There's so much to know in doing DBT as a clinician. We have a lot of responsibilities and things to get to in the course of treatment with somebody. And so these tips, a lot of them will be reminders for DBT therapists, but some of them might be new information. So I just invite you to take what fits, leave what doesn't, and share it with anyone who might also find it helpful. Also, that's my dog, Lucy, who apparently wants to be a part of this as well. So I'll get right into my first tip, which is around structuring your individual sessions with stage 1 comprehensive clients. So the reminder here is that with stage 1 comprehensive clients, there are certain agenda topics that are always going to be there. So most of us know that they are life-threatening behavior. So anything that is life-threatening, but also non-suicidal self-injury is falling in the first level of the hierarchy of the targets in stage 1 client sessions. The second is anything that interferes with therapy interfering behaviors of the client and of the therapist. Quality of life behaviors I generally describe to clients as anything else under the sun that isn't life-threatening and therapy interfering. And of course, we want to enhance their level of skillfulness. But we also want to make sure that we're checking in on other modes of treatment. And this is something that a lot of people miss when I'm watching session tapes or when I'm consulting or doing supervision. They miss checking in on phone coaching and skills group. And so the problem with that, with skills group particularly, is if you're not checking in on skills group, you don't actually know what's happening, right? So you might not realize 3 weeks in that your client has missed 3 sessions because you just never checked in. You just assumed everything was fine. So when I set my agenda in the office with a client, I have the same skeleton of an agenda up on the board every time. And the reason I do this is because it keeps my mind in the right place. It's very easy to get distracted with everything a client might come in with, but it also helps to shape the client to be of the understanding of what we're working on every time we're coming into session. If I'm doing a session virtually, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to share a Word document, or I'm going to put the agenda in the chat. But the template is always going to say DBT clients, stage 1, of course, life-threatening, therapy interfering, quality of life, skills group check-in, phone coaching check-in. And then I also like to identify the behavior chain that we're going to do at that time when we're setting the agenda. It just works, I think, a lot more efficiently and effectively during the session, again, because there's generally so many things that you have to get to. Helps keep me on track, keeps the client on track. And if we agree about this in the beginning of session, at least I'm able to redirect and point back to the agenda, and hopefully that helps get the client back on track with a little bit more ease. When checking in on phone coaching in skills group, these might be really quick conversations. Hey, didn't use phone coaching this week. Were there any times you thought, looking back, that you might have needed? What might be getting in the way? Again, if it's not super relevant and it doesn't seem like it's a therapy interfering piece to address, then I wouldn't spend too much time on it, because you really want to focus on what's there, but also what's relevant right now. It's really easy to get stuck in doing the checklist of making sure that you're meeting all of the things of being a DBT therapist without remembering the reason and why we're doing it. So don't get too stuck on having this deep conversation about phone coaching if there's nothing relevant. If a client did use phone coaching, I might ask them, well, hey, was there anything that was particularly helpful or not helpful? But again, this might be a quick conversation and then move on. Sometimes it might be longer. It just depends on what's relevant for them. Same thing with checking in on skills group. I might just ask, hey, what skill are you guys learning? Any issues with the homework? If the answer is no, then I'll probably just keep it moving. But if I don't ask those questions, I might miss out on information like, oh, you don't know what the homework is because you keep leaving early or something like that. And then I'm going to want to attend to that. So I hope this is helpful. Oh, last tip. I also ask clients to come in, and I'm orienting them to this at the beginning of treatment. Come to session with a notebook every time, so you can write down your own agenda or put a note in your phone. I want them to be working to just know and that we're on the same page of what we're working on and what they might have to do after. Like, okay, so we decided in the behavior chain that next time you might practice tip at this moment. And so how are you going to remember to do that? You're going to set an alarm. And so I want to ensure that on their page of agenda that they've written down what their homework is between now and next session. That also helps because in the next session, when I might have forgotten if there was anything that we got to, I just have them open up their book, pop into your agenda from last week. Was there anything we missed? And then I'll add that to our agenda for this week. So I'm including a template for you guys. I hope this is helpful. Feel free to use it. Feel free to orient your clients to it and use it for yourself, or keep it nearby or put it on your whiteboard, whatever's helpful. And also feel free to share it with others. Let me know how this helps you and other questions that you might have that you'd like to see reviewed in this section. And thanks. I hope to see you soon.